Hey guys, what's up? So I've made a couple videos about smartphones in the past, and I decided to make this one in light of all these news about how Apple may be forced to switch to USB-C by 2024 with new EU legislation. And I just wanted to say, why haven't you done this already, Apple? Like, seriously. I mean, I understand that, like, they like to make money off having a proprietary connector, but, like, it just feels like such a petty way to make money, guys. You could literally do anything else, and it would come off as less scummy than charging, people for a proprietary connector, basically. For example, I'd literally rather have them make people pay like, I don't know, a 5 cent per year fee for using the App Store than having to spend money on a lightning cable rather than just using USB-C. And the same goes for third-party manufacturers, like, because they're forced to pay licensing fees to use lightning. And that's why Apple likes to keep that port, because they'll get a decent amount of money from those licensing fees. And the reason why other stuff has switched to USB-C is just because those things aren't as popular as iPhones, because the iPhone is their best-selling product, I'm pretty sure, and that's why that's the only one that still uses Lightning. So honestly, like, money is the only reason why they're not switching. And some people say, oh well, what if people get mad about having to switch connectors? But the thing is, like, most people already have USB-C in their home in one way or another, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal to them. And at this point, it's just Apple being stubborn and greedy. And I absolutely hate it. And the worst part is, this new EU legislation, it doesn't say that every phone must have a USB-C port. It just says any phone that has a port must use USB-C. So Apple could theoretically completely ditch ports and switch to wireless charging by 2024, and then say, oh well, technically we don't have any ports, so we don't have to use USB-C, and they're going to force people to use wireless charging. Now, the only thing that I think is holding them back from doing this is the fact that wireless charging is still not as good as wired charging. It's still a lot less efficient and, effective compared to just a wired connection. So hopefully that'll prevent them from just completely ditching cables and switching to wireless. But the thing is, like, it's still technically a possibility, and it could happen based on how stubborn Apple is. And it's also possible that maybe they'll make like their own standard for wireless charging or something like that, which I hope that doesn't happen, because that would just be extremely annoying. But again, with how much these guys like money, everything is possible. But honestly, I didn't really want to make this video about Apple as much compared to what Android has been doing in these last few years. And Android is arguably worse in this regard, because while Apple doesn't want to add new features, Android keeps removing them. And I'm not talking about the software here, because that aspect does get better every year, and they're constantly innovating on it and adding more features. They don't really remove anything unless it's completely just dead and obsolete. So that department is completely fine. But the hardware, guys, why is it that since like 2015, we've been losing more and more features on our Android flagships? It makes no sense. Like, for example, do you guys remember IR transmitters? It was this thing you'd see on the top of a lot of Android flagships between like 2012 and 2015. And basically, if you downloaded an app on your phone, you could point your phone at like a TV or air conditioner or projector or something and use your phone as a remote. It was a super cool, nice little thing that they had. But then in like 2016, for some reason, all these manufacturers started to slowly kill it off. First, Samsung got rid of it, then HTC, then LG eventually got rid of it. And now you basically don't find it anywhere. And like, these things, when they happen, are just super disappointing and pointless. Like, why would you kill off something that's actually used by a decent amount of people like that? It is just so ridiculous. Or, for example, removable batteries. Before 2014, having a removable battery in an Android smartphone was standard. But starting in 2015, it slowly started to go away. And now, once again, you're not going to find removable batteries on basically anything at all. There's a common misconception that having a removable battery means having an ugly plastic back and no waterproofing, but that's not entirely true, because LG actually made a few phones with removable batteries that had metal backs. So it can be done, it just has to be designed correctly. And Samsung actually made a phone, the Galaxy S5, which had a removable battery, and it was also water resistant. So, that's also something that can be accomplished. So it's really just a matter of having good design choices, which is something these companies can't seem to comprehend, and it's causing us to have all these features get removed for no reason whatsoever. Or how about one of the most famous things that distinguished Android from iPhone, expandable storage? For some reason, Google hasn't had it in their phones since 2010, but other manufacturers were holding out pretty well. And then when Samsung got rid of it in 2015 with the Galaxy S6, people got pretty upset. So then with the Galaxy S7, they brought it back. And now they removed it again like 2 years ago. And so did a bunch of other manufacturers. It's like, guys, what are you doing? Especially with something like expandable storage, where it's literally one of the most well-known features on Android. it's basically gone now, and it's so ridiculously stupid. But the one thing that probably takes the cake with that is even more stupid is what happened with headphone jacks, guys. I mean, remember when Apple unveiled the iPhone 7 and it didn't have a headphone jack, and then you saw a bunch of Android manufacturers make fun of them for that and be like, haha, well, we still have it. Well, now they don't, because literally like 2-3 years after that, all of a sudden all these Android manufacturers started killing that off as well. And now it is really hard to find a flagship phone that still has a headphone jack. Now, I've gotten used to it, generally speaking, but it was such a dumb thing to kill off in the first place. Like, there was literally no need for it. I don't care about your stupid excuses about like clearing up space or whatever for other components. Find another way, because headphone jacks really are not the thing you should be killing off in order to achieve that, because that's just stupid. And all that space they say they need so badly is just being used to stick like 5 cameras on the back of your phone, because that's the embodiment of modern day quote-unquote innovation in the cell phone industry. Look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. A phone camera is never going to be as good as a dedicated DSLR or mirrorless camera, okay? It's just not. I don't care how many megapixels your phone camera has or how well it can do post-processing, it's always going to be inferior. I mean, yeah, the pictures will look good, but they will never match the quality of an actual dedicated camera. You guys can't even figure out good selfie camera placement, like having it pop out from the top, and you're worried about how professional your photos look? Get the hell out. You know the one technology these companies should be investing in? Graphene batteries. Because battery technology is something we actually haven't improved in quite a while, and graphene is supposed to be orders of magnitude better than any sort of lithium-ion technology we have today. They're supposed to last longer, have more charge cycles, store more energy, and just be better in basically every single way. But for some reason, there's basically no innovation or research going on here, because, you know, I heard about this like 2 years ago, and it's been basically silent since then. Like, these companies probably have this on a document stored on a laptop somewhere, like in the back of someone's drawer, and that's basically it. They don't actually invest any sort of R&D into, you know, working on this technology. And yes, I know it's probably going to take a while for graphene batteries to actually take off, because it is a pretty difficult thing to accomplish. But like, I feel like these companies aren't even trying to research that department, and you know, it's really infuriating, considering that's what you should be doing instead of trying to stick like 10 different cameras on the back of your phone. Because I mean, really, what else are they focusing on right now? More CPU performance, more RAM? I mean, it's nice, I guess, but like, most mobile games suck anyway, so there's really not much software that can actually take advantage of all that power, in my opinion. And by the way, notice how in this video I was mainly only talking about Google and Samsung. That's because we don't have a large variety of manufacturers anymore. I mean, I remember back in 2012 we had Google, Samsung, HTC, LG, Nokia, Motorola, OnePlus, even BlackBerry made a few phones. But today, let's see, Nokia and Motorola are busy making budget phones, HTC is dead in the water, OnePlus is doing God knows what, and LG just left the phone market altogether. So this lack of variety combined with a lack of innovation is making me really concerned for when I'll eventually have to upgrade my phone in a few years. And I swear, whenever I complain about this on a forum or something, I always get a bunch of smartasses that are like, oh, well, my phone still has all those features, even though they have some like random off-brand Chinese phone that probably doesn't have very good specs. And like, I'm talking about flagships here, guys. I want flagships to have these features, because they are basically what represent the Android market as a whole. That's why they're called flagships. I guess I can give some credit where it's due, because for example, wireless charging, fast charging, biometrics, waterproofing, those are all standard features we see in every flagship phone, when you didn't really see them that often a few years ago. But like, we didn't need to remove all those other features to achieve that, and like, that's what's annoying. The one company I haven't brought up yet is Sony, because their flagships surprisingly still have a lot of features. Like their latest one, it still has expandable storage, it still has a headphone jack, it's got a really nice high resolution screen, it's got very good processing power, it's just generally a very nice phone, and like, that's what I want to see from most flagships. And I mean, if they continue this track record of making really good feature-rich phones, maybe my next phone will be a Sony, who knows? Ultimately, this whole thing boils down to the consumer, because we need to be more vocal about not wanting these companies to remove features that we all like. And that's exactly what happened with the Galaxy S7 when they brought back the SD card slot due to customer feedback. And that just needs to happen more often with other features, and just generally like making sure that phones get better without, you know, sacrificing anything. Also, companies need to stop copying Apple with every little thing they do, because I feel like that's the reason why we've lost so many features on Android phones over the last few years. Or for example, when Apple stopped including chargers in the box a few years ago, and then Android phones also stopped including them like literally immediately after. So there's definitely some correlation there, and I feel like companies need to just stop using Apple as a model for everything. And that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. My main takeaway is basically that like, I hate when industries become bad, and I think we need to do everything in our power as consumers to make sure that that doesn't happen. So yeah, with that being said, this was your captain speaking. Remember to vote with your wallet, and peace out.